Powered by Riverside FM.
Kevin O'Connell needs to stop play calling duties. He needs to stop it. He needs to stop play calling duties. I don't know how that hurts the Minnesota Vikings changing play callers a quarter of the way through the season. I don't know if you wait and let this thing ride out for the whole season and bring somebody in next year to play call. Play calling is an art. You have to understand situations. You have to have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. You have to be someone that is a constant adjuster. And I don't want to hear Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips is not a play caller. Kevin O'Connell needs to bring in someone that can call the plays. Kevin O'Connell in situations has hurt this team enough with the play calling. Let me give you an example. When Carson Wentz, think about this, when Carson Wentz threw the bomb to Jordan Addison didn't quite make the goal line, didn't score the touchdown, got tripped up, got tackled, whatever you want to call it. Kevin O'Connell, the Minnesota Vikings, they rush up to the line of scrimmage, and what was the next play? A running play. Now, you have to realize that there's got to be something in your head that makes you understand every second is valuable. When you're scrambling, when you're trying to play catch up, when you're trying to rally, every second counts, right? Right? He comes up, the next play is a running play. You have to have in your head, what if we get stuffed? What if the running play gets stopped? Time is going to continue to run off the clock. Time is of the essence. So there's no way I run a running play in that situation just with the forethought, hey, I may get stopped. If you run a passing play, three things could happen. Yes, it could be a turnover, but you could have a turnover on a running play. Yes, it could be an incomplete pass, which at least stops the clock, or it's going to be a touchdown. Running a play, having it be a run play in that situation after the Jordan Addison bomb is just as egregious as it gets. You can go on to other examples like spiking the ball on third down on that last drive when you need downs to get Will the Thrill a chance to tie the game. There are so many instances where the play calling and just knowing game situations hurts. Kevin O'Connell needs to bring in a play caller. And I know Kevin O'Connell is going to fight it. He's going to fight that kind of stuff behind the scenes because Kevin O'Connell is attached to play calling. That's his thing. That's his ego. You know, these young coaches around the league are very innovative. These young coaches around the league are really smart guys, but they have to let you know that they're smart. I come across young coaches all the time in a variety of different sports. And the one thing about this young coaching generation is that it's not enough. It's not enough to win games. It's not enough to have a straightforward good offense or defense. They have to let you know that they are the smartest guys in the room. And that's Kevin O'Connell's problem. That's Kevin O'Connell's problem, man. His way is the best way. He knows there is no level of adjustment. We have proven, even with a bad offensive line, it's patchwork now, that Jordan Mason can run the ball. Jordan Mason can absolutely tote the rock. He's proven it. And yet there are some times where we just go away from it. Justin Jefferson They ran a lot of quick game stuff. It is obvious that they wanted to get Justin Jefferson involved in the game early. Late in the game, late game situations, we went completely away from the quick game. I told you this before on videos previous to this one. We've got to stop complaining and stop waiting on KOC implementing quick game stuff when we need it and how we need it. Just having a consistent quick game, man, it's just not his bag. It's not his bag. We've been begging and pleading for it. I mean, we saw it in yesterday's game, but I bet that was just so uncomfortable for him, man. That's not his game. He is the 5 to 6 step drop coach that wants to go vertical down the field, and that's what we're going to get from Kevin O'Connell during his duration as the Minnesota Vikings head football coach. There's not going to be a lot of changes. What you see from Kevin O'Connell is what you're going to get unless he gives up the play calling duties. Dude, this is Kevin O'Connell, and I'm just trying to get Viking fans prepared so we just won't be begging from week to week. Oh, KOC needs to do this. KOC has had enough time to change. His personality and the way he calls plays is just what it's going to be. So we got to stop begging. We got to stop complaining. I mean, you've got a right to complain. We can complain all we want. I'm just saying it ain't going to change. The Kevin O'Connell that you saw, the same mistakes, the same lack of adjustments that you saw is going to show up again next Sunday versus Cleveland. And again after the bye versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is who Kevin O'Connell is. And I'm not saying Kevin O'Connell is a bad coach. I'm not saying Kevin O'Connell should be fired or replaced. I'm just saying this is who Kevin O'Connell is. This is our coach. So people that are screaming about, hey, we got to get the short game, we got to get some slants, we got to do this, it will show up sometimes. It's just not his bag, man. Because why else wouldn't you do it? He's telling you after 4 years that he's not the best game situation play caller. Man, that's not going to change. It is who he is. His philosophy is what it is. See, if I were him, I would bring in a veteran play caller that understands the artistry of it, that understands levels of game situations. But his ego is never going to let him do that. His ego is never going to let him give up that play calling card. It feels good to him. It makes him the smartest guy in the room. This whole offensive line stuff, I don't think we're going to see the whole offensive line together. And this is the way it goes sometimes with Minnesota Vikings stuff, man. People get all in on stuff, and the more we get all in, the more we are disappointed. Think about last year. Nobody saw a 14-3 season coming last year. That's why the 14-3 season happened, and nobody had any expectations for Sam Darnold. That's why Sam Darnold played so well. But this offensive line, we were so excited about the trenches, and this offensive line thing is falling apart. I thought it was really stupid to bring Ryan Kelly back after a week's rest from a concussion. There are certain positions when you have a concussion where you just can't, you've got to be cautious about bringing somebody back. Like if you're a wide receiver and you got a concussion, there are so many plays where you're just not contacted as a wide receiver. There's not heavy contact. Think about Ryan Kelly's position. Head is down, snapping the ball. Every single snap, he's going to get some sort of head bump. And with his history of concussions, I thought they should have been a little bit more cautious bringing him back because his head's going to take a pounding all game long, right? And I've been around a number of athletes that have concussions. Those things just don't go away easy. And so I said it on another content creators podcast, I said to myself, man, I hope they're not bringing Ryan Kelly back too early. I'm afraid that he's going to get another concussion. And sure enough, Ryan Kelly gets another concussion. His fifth one, I believe. He has a history of this. So I would be, again, if he comes back at all, if he doesn't retire, because I can see that too. If he comes back, I would be really cautious on when I bring him back. Donovan Jackson's out. Now O'Neal is out. Everything that we got excited for with this offensive line, all the money that we invested with this offensive line, my challenge is how can we get them all five on the field at the same time? I just don't see it happening for the rest of the season. I'm just telling you, this season feels like a season of disappointment. You know, as an organization, how hard of a time we have putting dual win seasons back to back to back. There is always something. Last year we had the great season, got into the playoffs, lost. So you would figure that this season was going to be a letdown, that it was going to be a letdown. It just feels like one of these seasons where we're just going to be snake bit. And everything that we tried to do, credit to Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah in terms of bringing people in, plugging holes, fixing the trenches, we're going to be hard-pressed to see that happen. The defensive line, Hargrave and Allen, man. You guys got to do better. And honestly, these guys were not touted as great run-stopping guys. These were pressure up the middle guys. And now everybody's expecting them to stop the running game. Hell, I expect them to at least be competent in terms of stopping the run game. I know these guys are pressure guys, but my goodness, that's the problem. Again, part of the trenches that we invested in not showing up. We were touted to have, we always get upset when people like Colin Cowherd says negative things about us or critiques really hard about us. But we were also touted as having one of the best front sevens in football. Man, it just doesn't look like it right now because we can't stop the run consistently enough. That is a problem. For the first time, B-Flow's defense this year really didn't show up. You can talk about the running game versus the Atlanta Falcons. The defense gave us an opportunity to win that game. We couldn't pull through. But I thought Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers had a game plan for our defense, and they did primarily whatever they wanted. Aaron Rodgers, where are the people that said Aaron Rodgers was washed up? Aaron Rodgers didn't have an elite game yesterday, but Aaron Rodgers, again, played a good game. And before people say, well, Aaron Rodgers didn't do this, Aaron Rodgers didn't do that, Aaron Rodgers did not look like trash. It's what people called him. When all the people talking about Aaron Rodgers shouldn't be on this team, we shouldn't bring him in. When Aaron Rodgers was trying to get on the Minnesota Vikings this offseason, I heard trash. I heard washed up. He doesn't have anything left in the tank. Did he look like that yesterday? See, this is why we get so emotional and we gravitate towards people that we like rather than what's best for the team at the time. I was on board with sticking with J.J. McCarthy, and I'm still on board with sticking with J.J. McCarthy. What I was not on board with, UP Nation, Purple Gang, Skull Nation, is not having there were people out there that didn't want us to have a conversation with Aaron Rodgers. There were people out there that said, if we sit down at the table with Aaron Rodgers, they would get rid of their season tickets or they wouldn't support the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers was washed up. This is the type of emotional decision-making that can just kill franchises. He's supposed to be a cancer in the locker room, and I know that Aaron Rodgers comes with a lot of baggage. I get it. He ain't having no problem with the locker room in Pittsburgh. I guarantee you that. He is the best quarterback that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had since Ben Roethlisberger, and he's got them playing pretty good football. He's got them playing pretty good football. Man, this thing with the Minnesota Vikings is really, really frustrating. It's going to be one of these years where everything that we are supposed to have will not come to fruition this year. It may next year, but I don't think the defensive line is going to be what it's going to be. I mean, hats off to Redmond and LDR. Those guys are playing really, really good football right now. The guys that we paid need to step up in terms of Allen and Hargrave. They're just not doing that. Van Ginkel is out hurt. Cashman is out hurt. Our offensive line is depleted. J.J. McCarthy is out hurt. Man, this is, if anyone is thinking about anything other than putting J.J. McCarthy back under center after the bye, I just think it's a foolish take. I told you how important it is for the Minnesota Vikings to go at least 4-1 during these first 5 games. They've already lost 2 games with the Cleveland Browns and that number 1 defense lurking. I think 2-2 is tough. It's going to be tough for the Minnesota Vikings to make the playoffs. And, man, I'm not calling it early, and I'm not losing faith. I'm just a realist. Like, this is the way my mind works. I don't get caught up in liking people. I don't get caught up in emotions. I just tell it like it is. At 2-2 right now, even if they beat the Browns at 3-2, you look at the gauntlet of what's coming for the Minnesota Vikings, who they have personnel-wise that's healthy, what their quarterback situation is looking like, and the consistent level of play calling on the offensive side of the ball. Does anybody feel playoffs right now with the Eagles, the Rams, the Lions, the Ravens, the Packers, all of these football teams coming up down the stretch? Does anybody feel optimistic about us for sure making the playoffs? Man, it's going to be tough. And the Chicago Bears have rattled off a couple of games and they're looking better. So the Chicago Bears are on a 2-game winning streak. Man, our division is no joke, and our conference is no joke. And by dropping these 2 games, I don't smell playoffs. I don't see playoffs. So with that being the case, it's imperative that you get J.J. McCarthy some reps. It's imperative. Man, stop waiting on KOC to get better in these situational drives. It's just not going to get – it's not where his bread is buttered. He doesn't flourish in those type of situations. Stop calling for the quick game consistently. It's just not going to happen. That's not what he wants to do. He knows better. He's the smartest guy in the room, KOC is. And this is the way he wants to run his stuff. And it's not going to change. It's going to be there every single game. Man, I'm just frustrated about the loss. I thought there were some things that we could have done on the back end to get that game. Just the situational things, man, in terms of Kevin O'Connell and some of the decisions that he made. The bomb to Addison and the next play be a running play. Like you've gotta either score a touchdown or get that clock stopped. The handoff, I just knew once I saw the handoff coming that he wasn't going to make it, and there was going to be precious seconds that just ticked off the clock, man. Just really, really frustrated about the situation, man. Minnesota Vikings 2-2. Cleveland Browns are next. And, you know, the great thing about facing the Cleveland Browns is they have another one of these coaches that thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And he is there. There won't be a change at quarterback is my expectation for the Cleveland Browns. They're going to roll out old ass Joe Flacco out there to play quarterback. So that's going to give the Minnesota Vikings a chance because Kevin Stefanski can't see that is not working. I know they beat the Green Bay Packers, so they got it in them, especially with that defense, but they only scored 13 points that game. The Cleveland Browns will not score against the Minnesota Vikings. The question is, will we score points? How efficient can our offense be? Will we score? So, man, I just think it's going to be one of these seasons. I am going to get really snug and comfortable with it, that this is going to be what the Minnesota Vikings season is going to be like. It's going to be a season of a lot of different disappointments and injuries. There'll be some highlights, but man, players are just falling down by the wayside. We can't keep anybody healthy. And it's so ironic. We do everything that we can to keep players healthy during the preseason. We don't play anybody. We don't get reps, even though we need reps. We got a green quarterback that we need to develop. We don't put him in the game. He's out injured. We don't play any of our rotational guys during the preseason. Not the playoffs. If I said the playoffs, preseason. I'm just amped, man. I'm tired of watching this stuff every Sunday and the foolishness that goes on with this franchise sometimes, man. It just makes me frustrated and it just makes me angry. It is so frustrating to watch. Frustrating to watch, man. Can we roll our quarterback out of the pocket? Can we max protect to keep people off our quarterback's ass? Like, can we just have some level of adjustment from our offensive coaches during games? It's just going to be one of those years, man. It's just going to be one of those years. And so I have to dampen my expectation for the team, or every Sunday my blood is going to boil. I just have to sit back and let this thing develop. I'm not the one getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. I'm powerless in it. The only thing I can do is sit back and stomach it and watch it like I did yesterday, man. I couldn't even do, I was so upset. I couldn't even do a post game after the game yesterday, man. I had to let things calm down and do one today. I don't know what changes the Minnesota Vikings are going to make. They've got their injuries. I think KOC is who he is. Like, I don't think as Minnesota Viking fans that we should expect a level of adjustment. I just don't think that level of adjustment is going to be there. I just think KOC is going to play call the way he's going to play call. Obviously, he's going to be the play caller for the rest of the year, but I'm telling you right now, he better give that up. He better give that up. The Minnesota Vikings can win a Super Bowl with KOC as their head coach. I believe that. I don't know if we can go to the Super Bowl and win it with him as play caller. Not his current level of play calling. Do you know how many key situations happens during a key playoff run, a big playoff run? Are you down with KOC in those type of situations? Man, I don't know. I just know yesterday that was bad. I would love to ask him, man, why do you run? Why do you run when Jordan Addison didn't get in the end zone? Why the hell do you run? You may get stopped. That's the plan B that you have to have in your head, right? If you get stopped, there's more time that ticks off the clock. You got to score, and you got to score now, or you throw an incomplete pass and get the clock stopped. They needed that time at the end of the game. It's egregious, man. It's egregious. Please hit that like and subscribe button. This has been Unconventional Playbook, man. I'm tired. I'm just tired of it already. What a buzzkill of a start of the season. Everything that we were excited about as Viking fans is just drifting away. The trenches. That was the word of the summer. We fixed the trenches. Well, we're not stopping the run game, and the offensive line can't stay together and be healthy. We're all on board. We couldn't wait to see J.J. McCarthy. We protected him. He can't play in the preseason. We got to get him ready for the season. He's out until after the bye, probably. It's just ridiculous, man. It's typical Minnesota Vikings football, man. This is Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, we will see you when we see you. Just a buzzkill, man. Just a buzzkill. Skol.